Hi dough friends, hope you're alright. This is a very special video. This is my very first Blythe dough. As you can see, I have not actually properly opened her yet. She comes with these really cute hands. I got her from Allie Express. So let me open her up and I'll show you what she actually looks like. She actually has loads and loads of hair, which I'm really surprised by, and actually is really good quality. The face is okay. Like, I don't know what I really expected from this, but I was really surprised by the fact that she has nipples. So yeah, even I was a bit like, ooh. I'm testing out the eyes here, and actually they're quite nice. They have 4 different shades already attached to them. As you can see, they're pink, brown, light grey, and a blue. So yeah, it's quite good though so far, and you get loads of hands as well, which is quite good. I've got this dress as well. I've pre-opened it already because I wanted to see what the quality was like, but it's really, really good considering like it wasn't that expensive as well. It was really, really nice. And I've got these really cute shoes. They're just so adorable. They're really well made as well, which I'm really surprised by. So I'm going to dress her, and to put the dress on, you actually need to take the hands off. Well, you don't have to, but it makes it so much easier. So that's what I've done. I've just taken the hands off. For this video, I haven't tried the other hands. I just wanted to keep the hands as they were because my main focus for this one is kind of the face and the hair. And that's why I bought this dress, because I just want to see what it's like, you know, what it's like buying it from abroad and see how the make is. And I've never had a Blythe before, so I wanted to kind of do what I could do with this makeover. And yeah, so this is what she looks like. Yeah, I think it's time for a makeover. Okay, let's go. So the first thing I want to do with this doll is to cover her titties, because even as a grown man, I was a bit like, oh, okay, this doll has titties. Anyway, so after that, I am taking off the head, and there's 3 screws in the back, and they're quite easy to do. And then I've just used a flathead screwdriver to remove the top. Again, wasn't much pressure to do it. It's quite easy to do. There is an not rubber band. What are these called again? It's a spring. That's it. It's a spring on the head, and I think that helps to move the eyes. And I just took the first piece off, and then I split the head open with a flathead screwdriver, and you have something like this, which is, you know, quite easy to come apart. Really, it's not too much hassle. Quite easy to do. So now I am removing the screws, one that's keeping the eye in place and another one that keeps the wig in place as well. And again, it's really easy to do. They're just a crosshead screws. I then take the eyes out, and they're quite easy to do. I am now removing the spring completely, and I put everything into a pot while I do this just to make sure it's secure. I've taken out the little string pulley bit that comes with it. And yeah, you kind of have all of this, which is, you know, quite a few pieces actually, to be fair for dough. So I'm going to start with the face, and I am sanding the whole thing. However, I couldn't record it because I do it in my balcony, so I couldn't record any filming, I'm afraid, but I am going to try and make it for next time. I'm going to set myself up a bit better. Anyway, now that it's all sanded, I use a pencil to kind of mark out the kind of shape I want, the lips and the kind of curving of the face and the nose, and I'm using wood chisels. These techniques, by the way, I've just taken from watching loads of YouTube videos before I did this. So yeah, to be honest, I thought this would be a lot easier than it is, because it's actually really, really hard to do. I've even used a scalpel at this point. Next, I am going out and I'm filing. When I mean I'm going out, I'm going to the balcony again, and I'm going to use these special files to make it all a bit smoother. However, it's quite difficult to get into the right kind of tiny places. I'm going to go over the details a bit more, like the nose with the wooden chisels again. But to be honest, after I did this, I went on Amazon straight away and I ordered a hand drill. So hopefully the next one, it'll be a lot easier. But yeah, once I sanded everything and I was happy with it, I'm using Mr. Super Clear to give it a coating, and then I'm going to start my painting. I'm using pan pastels, which is in these little tubs here, and that's where I keep the paints. And then I have chalk pastels as well, so I can do a mixture of shades and stuff. Now I am just putting on some blusher here, just as a base coat, and then I'm using the more yellowy tone to give it a bit more definition, and I'm just going to go over that again with a bit more different shades of red. I kind of want to give this kind of slightly reddish nose kind of effect. I'm using white here because I saw one of the videos, someone did white lips first and then did more colors over it. So that's what I'm trying here. Now I'm going to be really honest. This is a lot harder than it looks. I mean, the eyebrows are quite easy. to be fair, I just used some pan pastels and then some pencil over it, and that gave a nice simple effect. However, the lips, oh my gosh, the lips gave me so many problems. I actually did the lips about 3 or 4 times. This is the first round that I did it, and what I did pencils first, watercolor pencils, and then I put water on it to kind of blend it in, and the shade just wasn't right. So again, as you can see, I colored over it, and then it made it a bit darker, and I wasn't happy with it. So then I basically redid the whole thing. I cleaned it all off. Yeah, as you can see here, I've cleaned it all off with a wet cotton bud, and I've decided to do it all again. And then I went for a bit more yellowy tone, and that ended up something more like this, which I wasn't too happy with. So I then decided to paint it a bit more pinker, and actually the end result isn't too bad. I'm quite happy with it. Now, I actually did this freckle technique where you kind of wet a brush and you speckle on it, but I actually forgot to film it. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing me clear away specks of paint with a wet cotton bud. I do recommend it. I will try to catch it next time. It's one of those things where when you record something and you missed it, you can't really redo it. So I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, freckles, use a wet brush. It really, really works. So yeah, do it. Now I am naming the what's this called again? The back piece of the head? The back of the head. I don't really know. A lot of people, when they customize a Blythe dough, they will name them. So I am naming this after my company, the Fat Dough Foundry, and I am putting the date, and I am obviously, this is my first one, so number 1. Now I'm calling this dough Sam because when I was doing this, I was watching the film Luck, and the main character is called Sam. So this is why this dough is also called Sam. Yeah, I thought it kind of suits her. It's a cute little name. So now I'm going to customize the eyes, and one of the things I want to do is take this out from the casing, which is quite easy to do, and I'm going to replace the eyes. Now I saw this on YouTube and I wasn't sure this was going to work, but basically you heat up some glue sticks from a glue gun and you stick it onto the eyes because they're made out of glass or plastic, whatever, and it should stick to it and pull off. And to my surprise, it came out really easily. So yeah, it's a trick that really does work. I bought these replacement eyes from Allie Express again, and they're really cool. And all you have to do is you kind of just put some glue at the edge. This is just clear PVA glue, and you just stick them in and just clean it off, and voila! Like, it's really, really easy. And yeah, so I changed 3 of them. I kept the blue ones, the original ones, because I wanted to have some originalness of it, I guess. So yeah. And I'm gonna now put some notches into the eyes, and this is something that I've seen which is called sleep eye, and it's something where you can, if you do this notch, you can then pull the eyes all the way back, because without it stops kind of part way. So yeah, as you can see, I put a notch in it, really easy to do. And once that's done, you can start painting on the top. Now, I didn't put Mr. Super Clear on top of this, which actually I would recommend to do because it'll probably take the paint a bit better. I'm using acrylic paints here, however, they're a bit watered down, a bit more watered down than I expected. And what I wanted to do was kind of go for like a nice pink ombre effect with some polka dot kind of styling with it. I would definitely recommend using slightly thicker paints maybe. You also don't need to colour in the middle. I just did it because the paint was kind of leaking in between, so that's why I did it, but you don't have to do that. And I'm using a nail artist brush to do the dots. These are really, really good for miniatures. And once I'm happy with the pattern, I'm going to varnish it. So I use this clear Lyritex varnish, I think it's called. And I just give it one simple coating. And once that's all done, I then start threading the eye mechanisms. So I am using a plastic thread, which is normally for beads and jewelry. And it's really, really good. It's really strong. But because it's quite thin, what I'm doing here is instead of tying a knot at the end, I'm actually threading through a bead so it doesn't come through the actual hole, and then I'm tying it on itself. So there's one hole here, and then there's another hole at the top. So I'm just tying both of them with the clear wire, and once that's all done, I assemble everything back together again. So I put the eyes back into the casing, I am making sure that it kind of all is in the right place, and I actually had to do this twice if I'm honest, because I kind of got the eyes the wrong way around and they wouldn't turn. So yeah, this is why I'm checking them, and they turn, which I'm really happy with. Yeah, and now to the hair. Now these head pieces, so I won't call them a wig because they're attached to this scalp bit. I am actually testing here to see if they will handle heat, because I want to straighten it because they're really curly, and luckily they do straighten. So with some editing magic, I am going to do the whole thing, and as you can see, it's all done. If I'm completely honest, this took me like 2 hours to do, but you know, I did want to show the whole thing. Anyway, so everything is done now, the wig, the eyes, the face. I am now assembling it all together now. So first I am putting the eyes back into the scalp, not the scalp, into the face piece. Yeah, the face piece. Now, so as you can see here, I'm testing it out because I'm thinking, yep, you know, it's quite easy to do. As you can see, the eyes aren't quite right, but I carry on anyway. And what I don't realize is I've actually screwed in the eyes with the wrong screw, which I didn't think was a problem, but actually it makes a big difference. So I'll explain that a bit later, but right now, as I'm doing this, I don't actually notice that I've done the screws wrong, which really I should have checked. Anyhow, so I am screwing everything back into place, and I'm thinking, yeah, I've done a really good job. Now I'm nearly finishing time. All I need to do now is to finish off the beads. I do one quick check, and yeah, as you can see, it's still a bit of a struggle, but you know, it kind of works. So I'm just kind of thinking at this point, yeah, I've kind of done it right, although I really haven't. I've not done it right at all. But anyway, so at the back of the head there are the 2 wires coming out from before, and what a lot of people do with these is that they use decorations, they use beads, which is what I've got here. You can use ribbon, you can do loads of things in here, and it's actually a really nice way to customize the doll, especially if you want to do something like little name tags or little rings or anything like that. I'm going for a really simple pink beaded pattern because I've had these beads for quite a while now and I really wanted to use them, and so yeah, that's what I'm going for. Really simple pattern, but quite effective, I think. So this is what they look like, and I'm really happy at this stage. I'm thinking, yeah, it's pretty much done. I'm really happy with it, and then I do this, and then I realize it's not pulling. They're stuck, and I'm not quite sure why they're not moving. And so I'm like, okay, what have I done wrong? And not only that, the beads have gone into the head. Yeah, the beads, because the gap is quite big at the back, the beads have actually gone into the head, so they're not working. So my only choice is to cut them off. And so after, you know, it took me about, 30 minutes to do all the beads, maybe a bit longer. I've now had to cut it off, take away the head. And obviously at this point, I've actually watched more YouTube videos and I've realized I've done the screws the wrong way around, and now the eyes are turning better, and I've rebeaded them, and I've actually left a bit of a gap at the top of the threads so that there is space for when the eye mechanism pulls down, the beads aren't going in or they're not stuck. Now I'm doing the hair, and the thing with this doll is that even after I've straightened the hair, there's so much of it still that I've decided that I'm just going to cut it. And yeah, I literally just got a big pair of scissors, my massive shears that I use for my fabrics, and I just chopped it. Yeah, and I think it looks so much better, don't you think? It looks so much better. So I'm just straightening it again, and I'm just giving it a little flick at the end just to make it a bit nice and neat, because it is a little bit messy here. And the outcome is so cute. I am so happy with this. And so now I think she is ready for her dress and her shoes, and I will show you what the end product looked like. So this is what she looked like originally, straight out of the packet, and this is what she looks like now. I know there's not a massive transformation, but I am so happy with her for my first Blythe doll. I think she's turned out really cute. And yeah, let me know what you think of this video. If you like it, please subscribe, please like it. If you have any tips, please leave a comment. And yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this video. It's my first Blythe, so yeah, there'll be plenty more, I'm sure. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Bye!